Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have been slowly chipping away at every little nook and cranny in this apartment, and today we are finally filling up this area of my apartment that has been purposeless. It's just been sitting there and bothering me, and we are gonna do something about it. I ranted about this before, but this apartment has so many little nooks and walls that jut out, and it makes planning the space so difficult. They're kind of awkward, very hard to style, and also the dimensions are usually just too small to fit anything in, so you really have to plan it out super well to make it work. So we have this one nook that's in the corner of our kitchen, and I've had so many different ideas of what it could be. I could add some shelves in there. I've been thinking about putting a kitchen island in here for months now, but I think I've come to realize that we just don't really have space for that. So I thought to myself, how can I actually make this area useful and not just look pretty? And I thought that we could just turn it into a little coffee/tea station. So I think this is a good solution, and I found a piece at IKEA that is the exact dimensions that would fit in this little nook. So we're gonna go there today, check it out, and of course we're gonna hack it and make it look super pretty and do a couple of other projects that I think are really gonna complete it. Before we go, I want to let you guys in on a little content creator secret, which is probably not that secret. So throughout the week, I'm either wearing the same exact outfit for multiple days, or I'm wearing multiple outfits in one day to shoot a bunch of content, and today is one of those days. I have a couple of Instagram videos that I'm doing today, so I'm gonna pack everything into my everywhere bag. This is from Away, and they are sponsoring today's video. This bag has been such a workhorse, and I'm just gonna pack her up really quickly before we go. You guys already know that I love their suitcases for travel. It is the best. Away is the original travel lifestyle brand designed by travelers for travelers. So I've been using their suitcases for 6 years now. I bring them to so many places, and they just make traveling feel a little less stressful when everything is nice and organized and everything fits. For our most recent trip to Florida, I used a bigger carry-on, and I actually felt like I underpacked for once in my life because I ended up having way more outfits than I needed because this thing fits so much with the compression pad. But even if you're not traveling, their pieces are super versatile for everyday use. So this bag has a bunch of different compartments. The nylon on here is water resistant, which I definitely need because it's been raining on and off here even though it's summer now. On the back side, you have the trolley pass-through, and then there's also this padded compartment, which is really nice for laptops, so I like to bring this whenever I'm working outside of the house. This bag feels really compact, but you actually can open it really wide so you can see exactly what is inside. The zipper goes all the way to the bottom, and I feel like that's what makes this bag really unique. My top recommendations definitely have to be the everywhere bag plus the bigger carry-on. That is the perfect combo. And if you're looking for even more, they have so much on their website, and you guys can get 10% off of your purchase with my link down below. There truly is something for everyone, so definitely check them out. Okay, so I am going solo again today, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like when it gets hotter out, everyone drives a little bit crazier. I talked a little bit about my driving anxiety before, and I was surprised to see a lot of you guys in the comments felt the same way, so I'm glad to know that I am not alone in that. And what I usually like to do is just put on a really chill album and just zone out to that. Today we're putting on the XX and also Troye Sivan. I need him to come out with an album because it has been over a year, so I feel like he needs to come out with something soon. And also, I like to have a calming scent in the car. I feel like that really helps as well. Anyways, let's go to IKEA and check out what I came here for. I'm hoping that it's going to be the perfect size. I keep stalking it on their website, and I think this is going to be the one. I love these fake windows. This has a lot of parts. So this is a lot of pieces that we have to sand and then prime. I've given myself a couple of hours to do this today, so we are gonna get it done. I'm using a shellac-based primer, which is ideal, especially when you're working with IKEA furniture, which is mostly laminate. But with this piece, it's not super glossy. It's a little bit more on like the matte side, so I'm still gonna sand it down, make sure that it's nice and prepped, and then we'll go in with the primer so that this is going to last and be durable. Okay, I am done priming and I officially have no more room in this office to put any more of the pieces. I started leaning them up in the hallways. I probably should have built this before I primed it, but I will do that before I paint. So yeah, we're gonna let this dry overnight and then I'm gonna come back tomorrow and show you guys what my vision is for this cabinet. We are ready for paint. I'm so excited about this. So I've had these Chinese and Japanese cabinets pinned for a while now, and I always thought that I would probably find one vintage or I could DIY something that is inspired by it. So that is the direction that I'm going for this cabinet. There are so many different styles of these cabinets and I love the detail on them. They always have some sort of nature element to them, like flowers or birds. So on the doors, I left the inside of these blank so that I could put a print in them later on, which I'm going to pick up today. So I'm really excited to see how it looks in person. And I was debating on what color I should paint this, but obviously I just had to do a green. I literally stood in front of all the paint swatches for like 15 minutes before I landed on this one. And this is a color that I've had my eye on for so many years now. And today we're finally using it. You probably can't see too much, but it's like this dark green with a yellow undertone to it. So I think it's gonna be perfect for the print that I chose. And I made sure to get this in a cabinet paint because even though it's a little bit more expensive, it is definitely worth it. Let's hope this vision comes to life. So originally for the doors, I was gonna do a wallpaper inside and find one that was peel and stick in the design that I wanted, but it ended up costing so much just for one roll of the design that I wanted. Like the lowest ones I found were $80 to $90, and that is definitely not worth it, especially for two little doors. So I thought to myself, maybe I could just print it for way cheaper. So of course I went on to Etsy. Whenever I need a print for a project, I usually look on Etsy first, and there are so many choices. I ended up finding the perfect one that I got printed at FedEx. Are you guys ready? Dun, 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 dun. Wow. So I think this is a Chinese print, and if you guys didn't know, Brian is Chinese Vietnamese, so this is definitely a special piece. So this is a matte poster print. It cost me 17 bucks, and I only needed to print out one because the width of this is actually larger than the two doors together. So my plan is to basically cut this in half and put it onto the door. The details on this are exactly what I was looking for. I love the florals, and the birds are very low-key in here. It's just very intricate, and I feel like I matched the greens pretty perfectly to the leaves on this. So I am just beyond happy with this. What I'm nervous about now is actually installing it onto the doors. My plan is to Mod Podge it on. That seems to be the best method, especially if you're working with a paper product like this. So let's try it out and get this on the doors. Can we please take a moment to talk about how well the green goes with this design? Like, one of the main reasons why I love hacking IKEA furniture is because you usually don't find pieces like this in stores. Most of my furniture is pretty neutral neutral, so this just adds so much life and is totally my aesthetic. And it's funny because sometimes I get comments saying that this is an excellent use of your free will and is a great reminder that furniture is just a base piece and you can totally customize it to whatever you want it to be. I always get a little nervous applying anything that needs to be completely flat because if there's an air bubble, I will notice it, I will see it, and if I can't get it out, it's going to bother me for all of eternity. So I made sure to go really slowly with this because once it is on, there really is no going back. This design is really the star of this cabinet. It spoke to me not only because it's a Chinese piece, but also because it looks so busy but somehow feels very calming with the leaves and the flowers and the birds. And calm is the vibe that I want when I come here for my morning tea. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that wallpapering furniture is nothing new, but every single time I learn something new and it just makes such an impact. Especially for a basic piece like this, it instantly transforms it into whatever style you're going for and makes it feel so much more custom. My jaw is on the floor right now because what the heck, this green looks so good with this print. I'm so happy with it. So I'm gonna let the glue dry with the paper underneath, and then on top I'm gonna go over with more Mod Podge just to make sure that this is protected. If you guys know what other things I can use to top coat over paper, please let me know, but I know that Mod Podge works great. So these are the knobs that it comes with, and obviously we can't just leave it like this. I thought of doing like a gold or a brass knob, and then I remembered that I have these that I never used. It's a little cherry blossom flower, and I think this goes perfectly with this theme, and it's just going to complete it and make it look so custom and so high-end. Please let this fit. Okay. Oh no. So this is a reminder that baseboards exist and sometimes they are not entirely square. So I am literally, like, I kid you not, millimeters off. I was afraid that this would happen, and if I owned this place, I would just take off one of the baseboards and that should solve it. So what I could do is make a platform for it so that it's higher than the baseboard, or add legs to it, which I think is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna order some and then attach them to the bottom. We are so close, you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead, put the doors on, and like do the rest of it while I wait for the legs to come in. And what's funny is this would actually be perfect for this little wall right here, but I really want to fill up this space, so I am determined. Okay, it's been a couple of days. I ordered the legs and I went for something very simple. I honestly wish I could have done some bun feet, but since I had to make it a certain height, this was the best option that I found. So they're straight on one side and tapered on the other, and I feel like this goes well with the design. And I think I'm gonna leave these wood because they go well with the doors. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous, but I'm glad that everything is working out and these are gonna look great. So while I was at IKEA, I passed their tea section and I was like, wait, I should totally do a tea related DIY because duh, this is a tea station. So I saw this teapot here, which is so cute. And I instantly remembered a DIY project idea that I had bookmarked for a super long time now. So today we're gonna try it out. You could definitely use any type of teapot. You can use an old one or thrift one. I just picked this one up at IKEA because I was already there. The lid on top is actually pretty big, which is perfect for this project because we're gonna turn it into a flower frog vase. I'm using my drill. I also have some drill bits that are made specifically for ceramics. And I get questions all the time on how I drill into ceramics without it cracking or breaking. So usually I will use some painter's tape that has hair on it. I'll usually mark my painter's tape so I know exactly where to drill. And then I also just spray it with some water. And I feel like this is the key here because it cools it down while you're drilling it. And if you're drilling a big hole, you could start with a smaller one first and then go in with your bigger one. So those are tips that I've picked up along the way. I don't know why, but since I'm talking about it, I feel like I'm gonna jinx myself for this project and crack it, which I hope does not happen because I only bought one of these. So we only have one chance to get this right. I totally jinxed myself. It's been like over 20 minutes and I only have 2 holes drilled, which I don't understand why it's taking me so long. At this rate, it's gonna take me like over an hour, so maybe I'll go out and buy better drill bits for this. Here are the 2 holes so far. I think what I'm actually gonna do is drill this with a scrap piece of wood underneath, because every single time I drill through the hole, I'm hitting the bottom of the teapot and it feels like I cracked it. So I'm just gonna drill it without the teapot and hopefully this will work a lot better. This worked so much better and so much faster, but you could definitely tell that like my first few holes were a little bit messed up, but I did get the hang of it by the end of it. So it definitely was the right move to get the new drill bit. It is not perfect, but we'll be able to cover that and paint it. So I'm pretty happy that it didn't take me 5 years to do. So obviously we cannot leave this plain. I want to paint it and also add some 3D elements to it. So I took out my polymer clay. I also have some molds. I've had these sitting around for a while and I want to try actually baking the clay inside the mold, because sometimes these are very delicate and it's hard to take out. So I want to try out that method and see how that goes. So my design inspiration actually came from these plates from Ashley Furniture. I just thought the patchwork design was so cute and we could definitely do something like that on this pot. That to me just screams summer, and I thought it'd be cute on the teapot with some 3D elements and then having the flowers come out. Like, it's just gonna be so whimsical and so cute. Okay, let's get to molding. The key here is to push the clay in and then using a tool like this and just pressing in as much as you can so that you can get all of the little nooks and crannies. I want to know what you guys are up to this summer. Like, what are the hobbies and crafts you guys are into this season? Because lately I've been spending my free time doing more self-care, cooking meals at home, and drawing in my sketchbook. And we've also been going to the movies almost every week this past month, and it is so nice just to disconnect for those 2 hours. We recently saw Materialist, which I overall really liked. There were some funny moments and really beautiful dialogue that really stuck out to me, but I have a little bit of mixed feelings because the pacing was kind of weird in some of the scenes. If you saw it, let me know if you agree or disagree, but overall I really liked it. It is a Pedro Pascal summer and I am so here for it. And on that same note, since it's summertime, I feel like I've just been giving myself more time to disconnect and really put time into myself and into my projects. Don't get me wrong though, I love social media. I love getting inspiration from others in all different niches, and even the occasional doom scroll is enjoyable because you get to connect with the rest of the world, see what's trending and what people are talking about. But I think at minimum you should give yourself at least one time per week where you could just zone out without a single notification distracting you from whatever you're working on. And after doing this job for a couple years now, I've learned just how valuable my time is just working on these projects. I work on so many things every month and it flies by. It's easy for it to become a blur. So when I look back on it, I want to remember the process, all the things I learned from it, and that's why I continue to DIY to really put my creativity into practice. And through my videos, I hope you guys have that same kind of feeling where you could just disconnect and hang out and even craft with me. I feel really honored every week that you guys choose to tune in to watch and to get ideas and to even get an ounce of inspiration. That truly is my goal with this channel. I feel like that is my mission, and I am so lucky that you guys are here every week. this is my new prized possession, you guys. This might be one of the cutest things I've ever made, and it definitely is gonna be like a family heirloom because I am never getting rid of this. This took me so much time to paint. It's kind of giving strawberry shortcake, so I am not mad at that at all. Let me know your thoughts on this project, and if you guys like the tea cabinet as well. That has been such a joy to wake up to in the morning and just drinking my tea at my little station. I'm so glad that we finally figured out that nook, and if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe down below if you haven't already. And if you want to see more from me, you can follow me over on Instagram where I post every single day. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!